welcome back to Frugal Men Outdoors. Today we're going to build an artificial nest using an old junk fan and a few things I had laying around. You see the top of this tree right here, I chopped the top out of it with a electric chainsaw a few months back, and I already had the plans of making this nest. I was waiting for the perfect opportunity, and today's that day. So follow along. We're going to build an artificial nest out of the cage from this fan, and we're going to mount it in the top of this tree. So first I'm going to go over a few things that I'm going to use. Of course, I mentioned the fan. We're going to use some soft bristles from weeds that are laying around the yard. I'm going to use some 3-inch screws with some washers, a small drill bit, a few wire ties, cordless drill, a pair of cutters to snip the end of the wire ties, a small pair of shears in case I want to trim up some of the greenery. I also have a few pieces of vine that I also clipped off the property while trimming different trees and stuff. I saved them for this project. And I also have some boughs out of a cedar tree, just to kind of camouflage. So the idea is hopefully I put this up in this tree and maybe squirrels or large raptor birds or even some crows might take over and start using it as a nest. I've seen a few of them out in the wild before where they've made big artificial nests for eagles and falcons, so I'm kind of hoping to do the same here on our property. For starters, I'm going to pull the fan apart and use only the front section. So now we have the fan to start with. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the vines and zip tie them around to widen the base of this nest just a little bit. Also, before then, I just realized I need to drill a few holes in the face of this. That way I can mount it to the top of the tree. In case you didn't notice, this was my free table from my barn haul. I'm already putting it to use. Now I pre-drilled the holes so I wouldn't have a problem when I get up on the top of the ladder at the top of this tree. I probably didn't need to, but I did it just in case and also just for safety. Next, I'm going to take some of the vines and zip tie them in place. I'm going to start with a couple of large ones first. Now I'm not expecting this to be perfect. I'm also not a bird, so I don't know how the nest needs to be. I'm going to give them a start and they can add to it later on. Hopefully they'll like what I started with and they can continue on with it. Now I've put a few this direction and I put 2 across this way. That way it'll hold the other ones down. That way I don't have to use as many zip ties. I'm going to pull down on the ones that are crossways and it'll help hold the other ones down. Now I've never done this before, so this is all new to me. That stick was a little drier than I thought. If you hear anything going on in the background, Dustin's over at the shop doing a few things himself, so you may hear him making noise over there. Some more loose ones there. Start. I'm gonna clip the excess zip tie length off. Next I'm gonna go with some smaller vines. So what I have going on here, I'm just going to make kind of a wreath look. A little bit haphazard, nothing perfect or specific. Just wrap it around. And one zip tie to hold on one side. I'm going to use three. I'll just make 3 different points here. That's where we're at now. Got the sticks and the vines in there. Next thing I'm going to add is a few cedar boughs. Kind of stuff them down in there, wedge them in. Now, as these cedar boughs dry out, of course, they're going to turn brown, but I'm hoping to give them a start. Just a little bit. I got a few pieces that are pointing inward. And it kind of looks like a wreath. Now, I'm going to take this to the top of this tree, and I'm going to take the 3-inch screws and go in through my pre-drilled holes and mount it to the top. And when I'm finished with that, I'm going to take some of this soft greenery that I clipped off the yard. It kind of looks like fern. I really don't know what it is. If you know exactly what this is, leave a comment below, please. Anyway, I'm going to put this over top of the screws after I mount it to the top of tree, and then we'll be finished from there. See you at the top of the tree. Well, there you have it. We have a nest, artificial nest, in the top of this tree. Hopefully something in wildlife decides to make it its home. I'd like to thank you for joining me for this video. Please like and subscribe and share with your friends. See you next time.